Good morning, all. I welcome our today's expert, Engineer Mahesh Shelke, for session on opportunities in water resource and urban modeling. So, Mahesh is our proud alumni of 2014 batch UG, and afterwards he completed masters in water resource engineering, and then he joined some of the MNCs where he's working as urban drainage network modeler and uh, recently or he is continuing his education through PhD also. So I welcome Mahesh and all the participants, audience for this session. I hand over the mic towards the Mahesh. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to share my glimpse of journey till date to new engineers, basically the new technocrats. So I have completed my bachelor's from Vidya Pratishthan College of Engineering in 2014. Later on, I took a gap of 1 year to finalize the domain area of interest where I can pursue my master's and then go into a field. So then afterwards, I came to know that I have little bit interest related to the water, the fluid mechanics. So I chose to pursue my career in water resource and environmental engineering. During my master's, I got an opportunity to do the internship in a MNC, that is Studio Gali Engageria company. That was basically work that time. It was basically in the field of water supply engineering. And later for the master's project, I got to know that the CWPRS, Central Water and Research Power Station, is one of the research institute in Pune, where I joined as a project intern and work in a coastal modeling field. Later, I got placed in a Mott McDonald Private Limited based at Mumbai location, where I work in a coastal modeling and also in a wastewater network modeling for the UK and Middle East region. Then I came to realize that the knowledge required in this particular field is so vast. So again, during along with job, I wanted to pursue a PhD or in a research domain knowledge. So I faced many interviews in IIT Bombay, in various institute, and later I got the opportunity to join the PhD research scholar position at VIIT Pune Vishwakarma Institute, along with my job. And yeah, I'm in today's date, I am a research scholar in the field of water resource modeling. Also, I am working as a network modeler in a Stantec ResourceNet Private Limited. It is a MNC based at Pune, and we are providing a services to the many nations like a UK region, Australia, USA, Middle East, and so on. So yeah, this is my journey so far. The presentations outline. So today I will tell you about what is basically a modeling in the field of water resource, in the field of environmental engineering. Then POV, what should be the point of view of a UG student towards the hydrological applications, towards the engineering point of view. Then how we can approach to the companies for the job, how you can make your LinkedIn and CV strong. And at the last, it will be a discussion session with you, like a question and answering. So many of students learn hydrology, the basic hydrology during your UG course. But many of the students have also one misconception that what we used to study during our academics that won't help you during a job. But that is totally wrong. So every knowledge is essential. Whatever you learn during your academics is really important while working on any projects or any job. So you know the basics of the hydrology, where it will be applicable. Yes, definitely in a modeling field. You can see this a picture where the many elements of the hydrology or water resource engineering you can see. So what actually the modeling is? The modeling is a technique to solve the real-time problem with the help of the numerical model or physical models. So will it be helpful for the decision making? Yes, obviously it will be helpful for the human to know or to take the decision on the problem, what it will arise if some scenario will happen, like a tsunami or the the heavy rain or the flood, drought, so on. So the types of modeling is basically divided into two types, the physical and the numerical. Under numerical, again, there are so many types, but considering the UG perspective, I am only talking about these two main types, the physical modeling and numerical modeling. The physical means you may learn this in a fluid mechanics, right? The dimensional analysis, Froude number, you used to develop the model in the lab, you have to make some test on the model, and then once this test pass, then we can construct this model in terms of the actual scenario. And in a numerical models, you can see or you can learn this perspective during your masters. So here we use many types of numerical models, many types of software, which will provide you the broad perspective of the your structure, your scenarios, what will be the happen in the future, and so on. So these are basically two types. In numerical models, we used to solve the many kinds of the equations, the governing equation, with the help of the softwares or the programs. Here then coastal erosion, some of the real-time examples of the modeling which you can see. The first one is a coastal erosion. You know that during high flood waves, many of the currents and the winds, this can harm the coastline. You can see some pictures over here how the erosion of the coastline occur. So to avoid this kind of the erosion, there are many of the solutions available. So this is some solutions. You can see the tetrapods in armor and stones in the cross. So basically this is the physical modeling. So they construct this kind of the model in the lab, they test, and once it is applicable, or once it get proven that this is now applicable for this kind of the scenario, then we go for the construction. So this type of physical modeling here in a Pune, you can see in a CWPRS. So this is one particular video. You can see this particular video, how the model studies for submerged reef with tetrapods in armor with the help of the concrete blocks can be designed. So you can see or you can organize your the visit also for this. So this is basically a physical modeling where you can see the dimension. This comes under the fluid mechanics subject, dimensional analysis. So all this comes under a coastal modeling thing. Now the development, what we usually do in a company, see, you know that sometimes the barren land get converted into a large city like a Nanded city or Magarpatta city and so on. That means what happened that there might be a planning of the different resources required. There might be the flood risk occur. So how to avoid these things? So you can see the urban drainage modeling is the field where we used to predict what will happen in the future if some population will increase, what will happen to the resources, what will be happen to the existing drainage system. So what we are going to do, we are going to predict the scenarios in the future, what will happen in 2030, 2045, and according to that, whether the existing resources are sufficient or not, existing drainage system is sufficient or not. If it is not sufficient, then what can be the measures, what can be the different options we can provide to that particular client, so that the load on the existing resources can be minimized. And sometimes it also happen that that if the return period of the rainfall is more, obviously the load on the existing drainage system is severe. So in this condition, what we need to provide, some the solution which can reduce that particular load, and the people livelihood can be good. So this is actually the modeling, in numerical modeling. The different softwares are available in the market. For the UK region, we use Innoise, integrated catchment modeling software. With the help of that, we can find out how the flooding occur, and actually what kind of the system is not sufficient to take that load, what we can provide the solution. You can see this is the storage tank we have provided so that it can take that extra load. And again, once the system have capacity, then this tank can allow that water to go into a system and ultimately to the sewage treatment works. So this kind of the modeling we usually do. This is complete drainage system. You can see the houses, how the houses connected to the drainage system, and ultimately then it goes to the wastewater treatment work. So we used to model this. In this particular modeling, many of your fluid mechanics equations, environmental engineering equations use. So we can't say that whatever in the academics is not going to use it in the job. So definitely it requires. This is again Mumbai outfall tidal scenario, how the tide water can affect the Mumbai and how the flooding can occur. So all these kind of the problem which we can analyze with the help of the modeling. So now you can have the idea about how the modeling will help human to understand the actual scenario. So this is now the case study of Khadakwasla. You know that if the rainfall occur and if there is no any storage capacity in the dam, we used to release that water. But what happened that if the extra, or if that water is not according to the rule curves or not according to the planning reservoir operation, then it can harm the downstream area, the flooding can occur. So this scenario again we can analyze with the help of the modeling. We can provide them a guidelines that how we can set up the rule curves, how we can analyze the strategies of the dam, so that it shouldn't impact on the downstream area. So we call it as a river modeling or reservoir modeling. Then can you become this wastewater network modeler, flood modeler, coastal modeler? Yes, because our domain knowledge is a civil. So it is a core branch which considers the many aspects like environmental engineering, coastal modeling, flood modeling, again integrated catchment or modeling, wastewater treatment work. There are so many aspects are covered in a civil engineering branch. So some tips I want to share with student that make your basic knowledge strong. If you want to pursue your career in a modeling field, be humble and greedy for the knowledge. Try to reconnect the academics knowledge with the real-time problems. Go for the higher studies like water resource or coastal engineering. Try to use more and more open source software available for the studies. Now we are moving to the next topic, that is river hydrology aspect. As a UG student, how you can have a basic knowledge of river hydrology. And if you have that basic knowledge of hydrology, you learn the hydrology subject during your third year. So if you use the nowadays open source software to study this hydrology, then it will definitely help you to get the job in the market. You can see this is the cross section of the river, the stage, depth of the river, width, free surface, cross-sectional area. We used to learn this in our books or during our academics. Now, how we can applicable this in your job? You can see if you are working for the UK region or Indian river in a Deccan Plateau, you come to know that the UK region is basically the alluvial region. You can see the photographs over here. Even if you see Indian river in a Deccan Plateau, you can see that there is a hard surface, or we call it as a bedrock surface. So these conditions you need to remember while modeling the river. You may heard this the Manning's coefficient, right? Manning's coefficient in open channel flow. So this concept you always have to click or in your brain during modeling. Okay, you learn this during your third year. So during job you should aware about this, the Manning's coefficient. What can be the Manning's coefficient for the different conditions of the river? Again, the potholes, you might learn this during your geology subject. So how these potholes occurs, how it impacts your river hydrology, what is the suspended load, what is the bed load. So these small concepts are very important while working on the river modeling job. So I request student to observe this photograph. So your eyesight, the civil engineer eyesight should be a different than the normal people. What you can see in this photograph, so the perspective to looking at that particular place, looking at the particular river hydrology is very important. You can see if any civil engineer or any hydrologist want to see this picture, no, he will think about the large boulders making an open channel boundary more strong. They can give you the more roughnesses. Then there is a river natural base flow. Definitely it is, there is a no flooding, so it is a natural base flow present in a river. Then there is a trees grown on other banks. There are some flora and fauna present in the river. There are some algae is also present. So your perspective should be in a such a way that you have to observe the things in an engineering point of view. So your POV should be a broad. Okay, and this will really help you during your the communication with the higher engineers or during your interviews. So these small things actually matters a lot, because from the UG person, from the undergraduate student, they won't expect you to learn the different or the complicated or complex software. They expect you from this the small hydrological aspect, the small technical knowledge, how you are aware about this thing. Okay, so this is again the river. You can see that it is actually flowing from upstream to downstream. So the slope matter. What is the slope? How we can calculate the slope of the river? So these small things actually make a big differences while working on the job. Then how the erosion occur? What are the different kinds of the measures to avoid this kind of the erosion from the open channel? Now you can see again the normal people, what they will see, yeah, this is a simple structure, concrete structure constructed over the river. But what will be the perspective of the civil engineer? You should have some questions in your mind. If you see this picture, right, what kind of the structure, what material is used, what kind of the gate is there, what will happen if the overtopping occurs. So these are the small questions, and how you can model this system in a software. What is the actually advantages of this particular structure? What is the cross section area? What provision you can provide to avoid the erosion on the downstream of this structure? So there are many small questions which you can think. Okay, so how many gates are there? So these are the question you should be asked, or you should be asked during your site visit, or you should have answer for these many questions. Then this is again the river. There are two banks, the bank 1 and bank 2. So in an interview they will ask you where the scoring will occur, where the deposition will occur. So you should aware about these small things. Then what is the drainage pattern of your river basin? So how you can do this drainage pattern? There are many open source softwares are available in the market. So with the help of the, usually in the 2 decades side or a few decades ago, the people used to work on the topo sheet, and they mark this kind of the drainage pattern on a topo sheet. But nowadays there is a DM, the digital elevation models, which is freely available from the Bhuvan website, ISRO. With the help of that digital elevation model, you can simply draw a pattern of the drainage, and that will really help you. This can be a very good assignment for the third year or last year student, that you can mark this drainage pattern of any river basin. That will really helpful to know that the drainage pattern, and what can be the storage and what can be the catchment area for the particular river basin. So this is particular website. From here you can download the many kinds of the data, like a land use, land cover, the various maps. You can also download some GIS thing, the agricultural thing. You can also have some disaster management data. So much data is available on a Bhuvan website, and I requested students to go through this website, get familiar with this, try to work on the data, so that ultimately your competency skill will increase, and that will help you to get the job in a MNCs or in the market. So this is actually the DM data, the Cartosat 1, Cartosat 2, and Cartosat 3, the digital elevation model, I can say, which will helpful to helpful for a different kinds of the applications, like a drainage pattern. You can see, you can find out the 3D mapping of your area. So this is actually some slides that can show how the DM can download it from the Bhuvan website. So student can get the motivation from this and can work on small assignment. Okay. Now, how to apply for the job in a MNCs? There are some guidelines I want to share with the student, that you need to first select your domain knowledge, where you want to work actually, because you know the civil engineering branch is so diverse. There are many kinds of the core applications present under a civil branch, like a BEAM, that is the building infrastructure modeling, urban drainage modeling, river modeling, GIS work, coastal modeling, architect. There are so many fields comes under this, so you need to select your area of the interest. I know, and it takes time to select the area of interest that you want to work or pursue your career on. So once you select one particular domain, you have to work on the open source software available in the market for this particular domain. For example, for the river modeling, you can go with HECRAS software. There are many other softwares in the market. You can also work on the QGIS software. So if you get familiar with this kind of the software, then it will be very easy for the entry level job, because many companies provide their JD, that is the job description requirements, on a LinkedIn, on their website. And if you go through that particular job description, you will come to know that what kind of the skill you need, so that you can apply for that job. If you don't have skill, no HR will entertain you for the interviews or for the company's requirement. So according to that, make your CV strong, take some efforts on your LinkedIn profile, try to work on your communication, try to approach the person who is actually working in the company, so that they can give you a reference to the HR. Then participate in various events like seminar, conferences, that will help you to gain the confidence. And I will also suggest one more thing, that to read the various literatures, novels, watch the documentaries, that can help you to increase your knowledge and will help while speaking during interviews, during group discussions. And be humble, be sincere about your work, and be down to earth. So yeah, I said about the river modeling thing. So you can go with this QGIS software. This is very good software. If you and this is the basic software. If you go into the modeling, you always have to work on some GIS, because the existing data is always in a GIS format. So what is basically the shapefile, raster data set, vector data set, and there are number of tutorials available freely on a YouTube. Then there are some QGIS Python's programs also. Open source programs is also available, so the student can go through this software, and it is very easy software. Once you get familiar with this software, you can form different kinds of the mapping, your study area, location mapping, the 3D views, so many things you can do with this software. Then there is a HECRAS software. This is again open source software. Many trainings are available. Many training videos, tutorials are available. Then again, the third one is a HEC HMS, that is rainfall to runoff modeling. How the rainfall is occur, and from the rainfall, how the runoff to the river, to the reservoir is occur. Then HECRAS sim software, that will help you for the reservoir operation. All these are the free software. I am here talking about the river modeling, urban drainage modeling. So I am giving this example. Some student might be interested in a structural modeling. Some student might be interested in a geotechnical. Some are maybe interested more in a GIS, in depth GIS. So according to that, the person can, or the student can enhance their knowledge, and can get the help from different tutorials and learn these softwares. Because you always remember odd man out. So if your CV or if your skill is different than the 50 or 70 student, those apply for the similar job, then only you get highlighted, and that will be a good thing to ask for more salary or for more demand. Now I want to show you one example here. Actually, this is the CV, and by the time you will improve, it is not like that. This is not a one-day job that now you study and tomorrow you can have that particular knowledge. So it is a lengthy process, long time process. By the time you will evolve, and every day is a new for learning. So I want to show one example. See this particular CV, it is so clumsy, right? The essay. So no HR will interested to learn this much of the paragraph, what he has done, what he has a knowledge, what kind of the expertise he has. And ultimately you have to this CV get rejects. So ultimately you have to make a space. You have to make a space in a HR mind or in a technical team mind, that how your CV can reflect the actual skill. So this particular slide, see. So these are some graphics that I have used in my CV, and it will really help. And the aesthetic of this CV is also good, and I can easily catch what the candidate has, what skill candidate has, how much year of experience he has, where he has he worked previously, and all about the details about his competencies. So uh, to make your CV strong is very most important. Make some work on your skill also. Represent it with the help of different animations, different uh, you can say different pie chart diagrams and so on. You can also see the software proficiency, what kind of the software you should learn if you want to pursue your career in a particular domain. If you want to go in a structure, you should have aware about the Rivet also. You should aware about the Stat Pro, eTab. There are many softwares in the market. So then once your domain is finalized, uh, just a minute, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, so these kind of once you finalize your domain, no, you can list out the companies available within your city or within Maharashtra, or where you want to work. So once you know the companies, their website, share this contact with your training departments, T&C cell, or you can directly approach to HR that we have this institute and we have many students who has this particular knowledge, and I want to share the CV with you. So definitely the HR will reply you back. And this is actually the training and placement cell can do the best job if you provide them this kind of the company structure. Then make your LinkedIn more strong. So each and every time think about your LinkedIn profile, how I can improve my LinkedIn profile, right? So if you can see my LinkedIn profile when I started working in this particular journey, so where you did your internship, what you learn in your internship, where you did your projects, what which was your first company, which was your second company, what you have done, so on. So this is all about your LinkedIn profile, and it should be a catchy that the HR should know that what kind of the skill that person have. uh I wanted to mention that, see, this I have total 7.5 years of experience in the same field, but still I have highlighted some of the points that I have done during my UG. So the projects which I have done during my UG, the BE, I have given a PPT, I have given some hints what I have done my PG, what I have done during my PG, UG, all. So the HR no need to call you or no need to search more. He can easily find out what your competencies, what your skills, what subject you learn during your UG and PG. Because the HR is basically not all HR is from the same domain. So they what they usually do, they see the JD, what kind of the words are present in the JD, and whether the similar words are present in your CV, on your LinkedIn or not. So usually they do this kind of the searching if they want to search the good candidate. Then again, I said you have to search the position where whether these positions are open till now or not. You can see the mutual connection, whether in the same company, if any mutual connection is present or not. If there is there are some friends, there are some mutual connections working in the same company, no, try to approach them, try to request them humbly, send your CV, ask them, how I can improve my CV. Is this CV sufficient sufficient, or could you please give me some suggestions so that I can improve my CV? And again send this CV to them and ask them to refer in a same organization. So you can see how you can improve your CV from the JD. What JD they have given, that is the job description. You can see here for this particular post, the beam post, they require the knowledge of civil 3D and beam 360. So it is obvious that you have to highlight this point in your CV. Then it will very easy trick for you guys to catch the attention of the technical team and HR. Here are some example how you can approach the mutual friends or the person who is working in the same organization. You have to just simply type a message very humbly and ask them to ask them for the referral and so on. As I said, you don't have to be a topper always. You don't have to be in a top list always, but you should be aware about some the other knowledge also, the other skill also, because if you can speak very confidently in your particular domain, because what happened that most of the companies do interview, do JDs, so you don't have to always work in the same field. Okay, the company have many other programs also. You need to train the juniors, you need to give the presentations, you need to fill a tenders. There are varieties of the job available in the company, so they don't require only topper or the who has a great perspective of the knowledge. What they will ask you, they will ask you whether he has the particular knowledge, other extra knowledge, other social knowledge about this field or not. For example, IPCC. The IPCC is the institute which provide the climate change scenario, how the climate is changing. So this particular documentary I used to watch many times. Then the waterman of India, Dr. Rajendra Singh. I actually met him during a during conferences, the hydro conferences, which was held in a Chandigarh. So try to take a participation in a conferences where the many prominent personality came, and we can have a conversation with them, and it boosts your confidence. It really helps you to boost a confidence in your personality, and the connection matters a lot. In a free time, you have very beautiful atmosphere, very beautiful surrounding in VPCOE, because I spent my 4 years over there. So you take the advantages of that, read the books from the library, uh, remove your stress by roaming in a nakshatra garden or in a campus. Try to communicate with the different candidates from the different branch. That will really help you to get the broad perspective of the engineering. Yeah, so all about this, try to give the seminar in the class, try to have some JD during your practical batch, try to put your point of view or your opinions while working. So it will help you to highlight, in a whole batch, and that matters a lot. So again, there are various freely training available. There are WhatsApp group like a youth club. They are providing the opportunities, they are providing the news related to your domain. There are national, I am here talking about the water because I am personally working in this field, so I am aware about this only. So National Water Academy is the academy present in the Pune, and they are providing a mini courses online which is freely available. So you can put this, you can do these courses and put this detail in your CV. That will definitely help, because company will really think that this is but UG student, but he knows about the National Water Academy, he knows about the different kind of the courses, he did the various kind of the courses, and ultimately your CV will be highlighted. So again, this is the